The girl had just opened the car door, and in the very next second, right before his eyes, his daughter was struck by a car. The father immediately sprinted toward her, trying to check her injuries, but at that moment, the vehicle that hit her suddenly made a U-turn, then slammed on the gas, and charged straight at the father and daughter again. Only then did Danny realize this was no ordinary accident. Someone from his past must be trying to kill him. So, he quickly drew his service weapon and repeatedly fired at the driver coming straight toward him. Only after seeing the windshield splattered with jam did he shift his aim and blow out the car's tire, causing the vehicle to flip into the nearby lake just a second before it could hit him. After making sure the driver had no chance of surviving, Danny immediately rushed his badly injured daughter to the hospital. Fortunately, she received treatment in time, and her life was no longer in immediate danger. But that night, as Danny was preparing a big meal to help his daughter recover, she suddenly started bleeding from the nose without warning. Then came violent vomiting. Danny's heart immediately sank. He thought it was a complication from the accident and wanted to take her back to the hospital, but she suddenly became hesitant, as if she had something she wanted to confess.
Dad, I gotta tell you something! I should have told you something!
Right now, Danny had no mind to listen. He only wanted to get her to the hospital as quickly as possible. But the moment he opened the door, another tragedy struck. Before Danny could even react, his daughter collapsed once again. At that moment, the dying Emma seemed to be trying to say something, but in the end, she could not hold on any longer and closed her eyes forever in Danny's arms. The sudden loss of his daughter shattered him. Holding her cold body, he swore that he would avenge her. Not long afterward, the police arrived at the scene, but after examining the evidence, they claimed that the killer's real target had always been Danny, a veteran detective who had made many enemies over the years, and that Emma was merely an innocent victim caught in the middle. In fact, that was exactly what Danny had thought after the first attack. But the two incidents in a row made him feel that something was not right. Both killers acted with precision and barely even looked at him. Their target had clearly been his daughter from the very beginning, but Danny knew the police would never accept his theory. If he wanted justice for his daughter, he had no choice but to uncover the truth himself. So he cut off a lock of her hair and kept it with him as a final memento. But who would want to harm his daughter, a girl who had no enemies at all? Danny could not figure it out. Filled with questions, he went to Emma's apartment. Drawing on years of investigative experience, he was shocked to discover that the place had already been thoroughly searched. Not only were there signs of forced entry on the window, but her computer was also missing. Inside Emma's backpack, he found several mud-stained pieces of clothing, a spare magazine, and something he could not make sense of: a professional radiation detector. At first he paid little attention to it, until the detector passed over his chest pocket and suddenly emitted a piercing alarm. Danny froze. He slowly pulled out what was inside his pocket. It was the lock of his daughter's hair. The hair contained an extremely high level of radiation. In an instant, he understood why his daughter had suffered nosebleeds and vomiting after coming home. It was not an ordinary illness, but symptoms of acute radiation sickness. Danny's heart sank to the bottom, and the truth seemed even more mysterious than before. He could not connect the radiation to any of the clues he had, nor could he find any useful information about the killers. Fortunately, after searching further, Danny found a fully loaded handgun in the nightstand. He knew his well-behaved daughter would never touch something like that, which meant the gun's origin had to be connected to whoever was behind all of this. So he immediately used his authority as a police officer to trace the serial number on the weapon. The registered owner's name appeared before him: Birham. The name was burned into Danny's mind. This might be his only lead to uncover the truth and find the mastermind behind everything. What connection did Birham have with Emma? And what was the real truth behind all of this? In the next episode, we will reveal the answer.